Be ready, fellas. Be ready.
Lights, camera, action, man.
Do it.
Welcome back to the level up, baby. It's been an interesting week. How y'all fellas doing?
Doing great.
Doing great, man.
Phenomenal, man.
A pretty intensive week, man. Short but intensive. We're coming off in Best Fest, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit. We're gonna talk about a little bit of real estate. Once again, I am your host, N.U.KING.
I am your host, Raphael Kirby.
And man, today we have a very, very special guest, man. This brother has been a brother to me since the moment that I met him, man. Every time I speak with him, man, he speaks on such a high level. You can tell he's very knowledgeable in a lot of things. He's one of the high performing real estate agents in Atlanta. I'm gonna say Georgia because this man is just that fantastic. Like I said, from the moment that I met him, man, I had a lot of admiration for him, man. And this is none other than Mr. Raphael, the realtor, Raphael Kirby, man. How's it going?
Doing great, man.
Glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
Second time. First time meeting you was at the Invest Fest.
Yep.
We had a good time, man. Raphael just always had a good spirit, good energy. Of course, anybody Kosi brings around already knows vouched for it. You know what I mean?
Great guy, man.
Most definitely, man. So, Raphael, man, go ahead and introduce yourself. You know what you do, a little bit about yourself, and where you're from.
So I was born. I'm Raphael Kirby. I was born in Albany, Georgia. It's like 3 hours south of Atlanta.
Yeah.
I grew up in Northeast Georgia, Lilburn, where I attended Parkview High School. And then my last year, I attended Stevenson High School.
Okay.
From there, I went on to play collegiate football at the University of Miami. Go Kings!
Yeah.
We got the W last night, so starting off good. Starting off good for this season, but nonetheless, man, I spent 4 years down there, 2012 to 2016, and I played inside linebacker, started for 2 years.
Yeah.
And my last year, unfortunately, had a knee injury. I did get a quick stint to play in the NFL. The Jacksonville Jaguars on practice squad.
Okay.
The following season after that, they released me, and I said it's time to take matters into my own hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when I first met you, man, you had that, handshake. I was like, look, I even told Kosi, I said, this man lift a lot or something, man. He played football or something because he had that shoulder pad. I was like, hit me like we was on a football court or something, man.
Yeah. Just natural.
Natural,
Naturally
man.
big. I'm
Right.
Bro, you
Big.
the circumference of this.
Most definitely.
2 or 3 times outside my arm. And I know I work out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
you
awesome.
hit the gym. Like,
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Nah, you know when somebody been playing football or something, you can feel it. You know what I mean? Most definitely, man. I guess how do you kind of jumping into you being an athlete, right? I'm sure that had a lot to do with how that plays out in the business world for you.
Yeah.
What was the transition like? Like, when was it that you realized I want to go? Obviously, you got injured, things happened, and then how long did it take you before you transitioned into entrepreneurship?
I would say it took me 3 years post football with the Jags to kind of get into entrepreneurship.
Right.
I've always had an entrepreneurship mindset because of my parents. They're also entrepreneurs,
Okay.
and they also invest in the real estate. So
Right.
I would say by virtue of them is how I broke into real estate, and just always having that entrepreneurial spirit.
That's awesome,
It just
man.
took me a little minute to kind of get over football.
Right. It hurts a little bit.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump right into real estate, man. I mean, what is it that inspired you to get into real estate specifically? I've done my research on you, and I see you one of the top performing agents in Atlanta.
Right.
What kind of inspired you to get into that industry specifically?
Specifically with my parents, they started investing in 2016, and what they would do is buy foreclosed properties. The first Tuesday of every month, you can go to the county courthouse steps and bid on property. And at that time, things were kind of bidding over, but they were able to find some nice gems. And then they came in on more so of the buy and hold side. So you buy low, put a little money into it, and then rent it out for the market rents in the area. So I thought it was real interesting. And my mom was having a conversation with me one day saying, you have the demeanor and look of an agent, a trustworthy person. And that's really all what it is.
Yeah.
Being trustworthy, someone that can guide someone from, hey, this is a good purchase. Or, hey, no, it's not. And getting into it and doing a good job for one person led to more and more people.
And so, talking about your parents, was the property delinquent properties already? Like
Foreclosed. So basically the bank owns it.
Okay.
For whatever reason, the person stopped paying or they lost the property. So
And
then
you took a little bit different route than they did.
Correct. Yeah.
What is it that you do? Could you let our audience
So basically I help people buy and sell homes.
Okay.
So I can also look for those type of deals if they're on market and off market. And I work with a lot of first time home buyers and a lot of first time sellers. So kind of getting into my world of what I do is new construction, resale, and investment properties. So I run the numbers for people, cap rates to see if it's a good deal on the investment side. First time home buyers, literally gotten them through the whole process, and first time sellers doing the same thing.
That's awesome, man. How would you say is currently, obviously we're facing, a recession and the economy is down. Has anything changed in the real estate market in Georgia or overall, like the things that you could, I guess, speak on and have noticed so far?
So the trends in the market, obviously, I got licensed in 2020, where interest rates were 2.5%, 3%. So the biggest thing we've seen different now is interest rates have gone up to 6.5%, 7%. So it's a shifting market, is what I call it.
Right.
And navigating through that shifting market, investors are still buying.
Right.
Buyers are still buying. The sellers are still selling. So for me, it's been a lot of kind of guiding people why it could potentially be a good purchase. And you have to always remember you're buying a house, which is supposed to be an asset, opposed to buying a car, which depreciates once you drive it off the lot. So Atlanta, just to clear the space, you have to also look at hyperlocal stats. You have to look at Atlanta. You have to look at where you are buying. That's the key. A lot of the news you're reading is national news. It's negative. They're in the business of making money, right? And nobody wants to read anything that's positive. It's all negative. So hyper-local stats is what you have to do, and also relying on an agent to be frank with you and honest with you about that.
Most definitely. It's very important to find people who are genuine, educated, know what they're doing, because it's a lot of funk out there, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Absolutely. And as far as me, I see, as far as what I see, a lot of the social media stuff is all highlights a lot of positive stuff that goes on. A lot of people don't post the negative stuff or, nuances that's in the industry in which they're in. What are some of the negative things, the challenges you had while being in the industry?
For me,
early on and to now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say when I first started, the number one thing that happened, my first month in real estate, COVID hit. So I'm sitting there like, man, March 2020, I'm like, man, what did I just get myself into?
Yeah.
But what I found to realize is as I start getting around people that have been doing this a long time, because a wise man once said that there are people that have done things before you. You're not the creator of this. So I got to hanging around coaches and mentors that had already been where I'm trying to go. All right. So those people had their best year in 2020, 2021. All right. And to piggyback on to answer your question, the negative stuff is the mindset that, getting into this business during that time, are you going to succeed? It was a lot of people during that time that didn't buy as well, because they weren't educated on why it was still a good time to buy. You see the closings, and if you watch HGTV, you also see that, hey, you can go out just run a private. It's not like that. Right. And once you start to scale, deals do fall through. Right. For just various different reasons.
Most definitely, man. I mean, I truly believe that, character matters in whatever you do, right? How does, I guess, your, experience being an athlete in college play a part in you, again, being in your career path as a real estate agent, how you've been able to scale? What are things that you say are transferable characters and things that have helped you mentally?
That's a great question. My defense coordinator, when I was at Miami, he would always tell us, if you're on time, you're late. There's a huge myth about agents not being on time for appointments.
Yeah.
So I've literally gotten in the doors and beating out other agents because I was on time to a listing appointment. And having a mindset around always working hard and going the extra mile.
Yes.
Football is the reason it prepared me for that.
Right.
So,
right. He was on time today too. Pretty early.
He was definitely on time. Definitely on time.
Yes, sir.
So man, we both, all three of us, are coming off InvestFest, man. Tell me about that, man. What was your experience like at InvestFest?
Man, it was inspirational.
Yeah.
I would say the keynote speakers, P. Diddy and Steve Harvey. I mean, they shut it down.
With Robert A. Smith, right?
Yeah, Robert. I mean, it was very inspiring, and I love when Diddy came out and started speaking about collaboration, kind of like what you guys are doing. You can only get so far by yourself, right? Exactly. Coach, you can only do so much by yourself. Kale, you can only do so much by yourself. True. So I think when we start to gravitate and have that mindset around how we could build together is when you kind of reach newer heights. So that segment was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed it by giving us $1 million.
No, most definitely, man. That was big.
Man,
Wow, the big old check.
That was major, bro. He
Right.
gave him $1 million. Bro. I wasn't expecting that.
You guys know he went to Florida right after.
Right.
Flew out. He gave another $1 million.
Yep.
For some school funds or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was Jackson State.
Yeah,
that's major, man. One of these days, man, we were all gonna get to that level.
Most definitely, man.
They say if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together.
Go together.
Collaboration.
Exactly. Very key, man. Very key.
What about you, Mikhail, man? What are some of the takeaways in which you got?
Man, I really truly enjoyed InvestFest first and foremost, man. Good company, right? Yeah. We were all together, man, and we were soaking it up. Right? Yeah, it was my first time meeting Raphael, and we was laughing, just talking about how big he is, and we just vibed from the back, because I'm trying to get big too. So I'm like, Raphael, what's your diet like, bro? What you doing these days? What you benching?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. As far as InvestFest, learned a lot, right? A lot of great speakers. Most of my takeaways, of course, like you said, P. Diddy, Robert A. Smith. There's so many speakers on stage that came about, spoke on so many different industries and how to scale, how to grow. Whether it's impact, whether it's your social media branding or how you market yourself, how you build relationships, right? But the most fun part for me, man, it was networking. It was about meeting people. And Kosi is one of those people sometimes I could get a little tired of talking to people. He's over there like, man, there's 20,000 people here. I'm gonna speak to 19,000 of them. At some point, I said, look, we gotta get some food and some water, because at this point, I'm about to stop speaking to about 15 of them. Yeah. But we had a good time, man. Ran into a lot of legends. You know what I mean? Like Ray Daniels was big in the music industry, and scaled for a lot of people, done a lot of great things, and just running into people. Funny things did happen. We was dressed pretty nice. I had a lot of people thinking I was 19 Keys or something. I had this lady walk up to me, and she said, "My husband, he always talks about you." And I was just like, "Huh?" And she took a whole picture. I'm like, "Bro, what was that, bro?" She thought I was 19. Yeah. Bro, you just told you wasn't 19. Kosi, she's like, "Here's the phone. Can you take a picture?" Kosi's like, "What's going on?" He takes the picture. She walks away. He's like, "What was that?" I thought she thought I was 19.
I thought she was a subscriber.
Right. I'm like, look, man, I'm bound to be somebody one day. She gonna look back. Let's go. Let's take the picture. But it was fun, man. I had a lot of great time.
One girl follow me around the whole place, bro. And Todd Mikhail was like, "Bro, what's up?"
It was about 3 of them. Every time he spoke to a girl, bro, they would follow him all the way. They wouldn't let him go. He would go to a different room. They follow him. I said, "Kosi, what are you saying to these girls, man? What's going on? Got some stalkers now?" But it was fun, man. We had a great time.
Fun, man.
Most definitely.
Networking. So, man, we're gonna hop back on Raphael, man. So, InvestFest is a lot of speakers speaking about one specific speaker was speaking about real estate. I forgot who he was.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as InvestFest goes, I mean, I know you were in real estate. What is it that you learned about real estate that you didn't know at InvestFest?
I would say,
if you learned anything at all.
Well, I did, and I took little small gems from a lot of the speakers, and one of them was the development stage, because that's where we have to get to. You can, as an agent, I'm always looking for like the next opportunity, right? And for me, I feel like it was very inspiring because development and private equity, going that route, is powerful, and that's when you kind of have it coming to you instead of you going after it, right?
Right.
And I think that. It honestly, it's gotten me to start to think about how I could break into that world as well.
I think that was Sunday. That was the last day.
That was on. They did one on Saturday as well. They had a breakout.
Do you recall who the speaker was?
Probably gotta go back to the itinerary.
Specifically.
But I definitely remember that conversation of them speaking about development and obviously building like big apartment complexes. Just things like compounds that you see and. That's big game, right?
That's big, yeah.
I guess what would you say is kind of like the best strategy to get in those rooms? Or what do you think is your approach now when you think about it? Like what steps have you kind of planned out for yourself and how you're gonna attack this field?
Network.
Yeah,
network. Getting around the right people and in the right rooms is key. And how to break into those rooms is simply you have to hustle. I mean, you have to hustle, you gotta grind. And a lot of stuff that I've done has been I've been very fortunate and knowing a lot of people here in Atlanta. So it just takes one person, you know what I mean? Just meeting a developer. And then they turn you on to more and more people. So I think for me and my business, that'll definitely be one of the end goals. Yeah.
Your network is your net worth.
That's it.
Most definitely, man.
Did you make some valuable connections to help you move forward? You know, as far as real
I did.
estate goes, and in other aspects of business as well.
Yeah, I met a few investors and developers, and for me, in the stage of where I am now, my motto is to make sure that the seller, which would be the investor, nets the most amount of money possible.
Right.
Yep.
Because if you make money for people, they're always going to talk about you, right?
That's it.
And referrals is a big thing in business, man. People
It's
talk
huge.
about you, word of mouth get around. Hey, y'all need to get with Raphael.
Yep.
Most definitely, man. I guess a lot of people want to get in this real estate field.
Yep.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know how to get in the door, or you know, what would be some advice, or what's a great way to really get in this business?
I can share my path, and that may help someone.
Exactly.
Like I spoke with my parents, but then after that, I just went and got licensed. It's a 6-week course. You go get licensed. And I joined Keller Williams slightly after that. You take the class exam, then the state exam, then you join a brokerage.
Right.
And I think for $450, a 6-week course, you can just learn so much from that. Right. And a lot of people hold licenses and may not use them, but at least they have that background and knowledge behind.
Does the license expire?
It does if you don't renew.
Oh, okay.
Or you can be active or inactive.
So what's the renewal fee every year?
You have to be part of a board. It's like $450 a year.
Okay. Something like that. Well, if you're paying $450 a year, you might well be actively practicing.
Correct. And then you have other fees. So if you're with a brokerage, you have other fees monthly and stuff like that.
Yeah. See,
you know,
all of that, you might as well go ahead and be full-time real estate agent, because otherwise you just spending $450.
Right.
You know what I've heard? A lot of people fear the test. Like a lot of people fail it, right? And then they have to take it over and over. And I've heard that plenty of times. I have a sister of mine. I call her my sister. She lives in California. She's a licensed agent.
Yep.
I know it took her a few times before she got it.
Yep.
And, you know, at some point she got a little discouraged, and we told her, like, hey, just keep going, you know?
And
but
that's such a great point.
Right.
A lot of people, it takes 2 to 3 times.
Right.
But what they do is it's a very strategic way for them to weed out the ones that are not serious about this thing, because it's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
So if it takes you 4 or 5 times, I mean, every time is like $100, $125.
How many times did you have to take it?
Twice.
Okay.
Yeah. First time I was screen struck. I'm not great at taking tests, especially on the computer.
Right.
So missed by a couple points, but I mean, that wasn't going to stop me. I went back the next week and passed.
Sometimes you get a little nervous too. Let's be honest, man. You know, you may know the knowledge, but you now you question yourself, like, is this right? Is that not?
Right.
Because you want the opportunity so bad, you've worked for it, right? Now a lot of people don't have a good test skill, right? They get nervous.
Right.
They fumble.
And 2 of the answers do look alike.
Right.
It's a composite test. Like they
2 of the answers look alike.
They're similar. They just are in like maybe 1 or 2 words. Which one makes the most sense?
Is it multiple choice, or is like you have to like type it out?
It's 150 multiple choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, man.
Not bad.
I mean, I failed my driving test at least twice. You know?
Right.
When I was trying to get my license in California, man.
Hey.
But you know what I did? I went, because I was taking it in Santa Monica, and it's kind of like predominantly white neighborhood.
Right.
And it was, you know, usually a white person testing me. I kept failing it twice. And you got to take it 3 times.
Yeah.
After the 3rd one, you got to wait months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went to the hood. I went to Inglewood. And I passed. I said, yeah. They going to always let you pass.
Look at that.
Look at that. Yeah, man.
So, just keep going.
Just keep going.
Like, you know, I know you're doing great in real estate, man. Otherwise, we wouldn't have you on the show, man. But you know, you're doing great things. But you know, what are some of the things, man, that keep you inspired, man, to keep going and doing your thing, man? And you know, and what are some other sectors that you're willing to break into going forward?
What keeps me going is really my why. And once you figure out your why, it'll always drive you to keep going.
Right.
And my family is a huge part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And also getting back into my communities. I mean, if I had to write a book, it'd be life after sports. Because my end goal is to teach and be a source for athletes, to let them know that it's going to end one day, right? And in high school, you have close to a million football high school athletes. 75,000 of those go to play college football, but only 1,700 make it to the big stage on Sunday, right? 53-man roster,
right? And
to top that, the ones that do make it, the average NFL player plays for 3 years, not for long, right? If you have a great, stint in the league, you may play 7 to 10 years, but you're still only 30 years old.
Right.
So what are you going to do after that? And I think that, my story and sharing my story about getting injured and breaking into real estate and being a top performer in this it's competitive. I mean, everybody knows 3 or 4 agents.
Right.
So I would just say that's what keeps me going, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
most definitely.
What was
man.
that experience like with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I was there for 1 month.
1 month.
Practice squad. It was great. I
A
mean,
lot of people don't make it to that stage.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's big. That's big, man. To be
Yeah.
honest,
So
you know what I mean?
that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not trying to discredit that, but man, like, what was that experience like? I can only imagine.
It was great. I mean, being in that locker room.
Were they cracking on you, bro?
No, man. I mean, it was just. It was. I was part of. So in the league, you have like 10 guys on practice squad, and
Right.
you got the guys that play. I was one of the practice squad.
Right.
And it was cool. It was just very short lived.
Yeah,
But I appreciate the experience.
God has different plans for us
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And you know, I've learned in life that sometimes, bro, things don't pan out the way we wanted to
That's right.
because essentially God had a different plan for you. And look at what you're doing now, right? So you're able to touch people and influence people, still have an impact in your own way. And eventually, of course, your story is going to help. Because how many people do get injured
Right. Yeah.
and get depressed afterwards?
Yep.
And you know, end up in situations where they're not able to prevail past that situation. You know, there's a lot of people that commit suicide, man. They can't get up from that type of so.
And then a lot of most athletes, you know, right after college, because I played college ball too. A lot of them don't know what they're gonna do after basketball.
Right.
You get caught up in that moment, but like the statistic says, a percentage is only gonna go to the next
Right.
stage, depending on the school in which you're at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So we are more than what we do, man.
1%.
1%. We always talk about that, me and Kosi on this podcast, man, just about family structure being important. Of course, your family and your parents being a big influence in your life as well. And secondly, just always knowing that, you know, you're not defined by what you do, but who you are. So essentially, you know, who you are is going to define where you go in life. And so just because one thing didn't work out for you doesn't mean you're not good as a person. It just means that's not your thing. God has a different plan for you.
It's good. It's good. What's down? What's Shotty? What's your love, man? Now it's crazy. Sorry that we made you wait, but we had to curate the vibe. We couldn't serve you the meal until it was fully seasoned. So, first and foremost, man, I just want to say this is so amazing and so humbling. That, you know, starting from where we started from, you guys already know the story. To be here now in front of 20,000 people is really ungrateful. So, thank you guys for loving so much.
This is incredible. Hey, yo, this is year 3, right? I said, year 1, we put our community on notice. Year 2, we put the coach on notice. But this year right here, with everybody in this building, putting the world on notice. Make no space sense. Yeah, you got that feeling.
Yeah, so we ain't gonna hold you, man. My boy Diddy, man, one of the most legendary entrepreneurs of all time. And somebody that was on our target board at the beginning when we first started early Alicia to interview as far as what he's done in the game and, you know, just being a billionaire from hip-hop culture. It speaks for itself. I really got to get into it. So I want to first play the video to fully acknowledge our legend, and then we're going to bring Diddy out and we're going to have a tremendous conversation. So
Let's do it.
I can feel it, love is in the air tonight. We've been waiting for this moment all our lives. Move on. Special announcement, the revolution will be televised.
Yes, sir. We are back, baby. We are back.
Yes, sir.
We got my man Raphael Kirby here, man. One of the smartest gentlemen that I know. One of the wisest brothers I know.
Yes.
Raphael, I mean, we know you into real estate, man. We went to Invest Fest, man. We've been having a good experience with each other so far. Man, what are some of the books you're reading right now, man?
Man, I started off the year reading Atomic Habits. If you haven't read that, you should.
I've listened to the audiobook and a few things, but I do need to read the book.
Man, that's good.
Yeah.
And currently I just finished The One Thing. And I'll kind of dig into a little bit about what it's about. But basically, is if you had to pick one thing to do, what would that be, and how would that make everything else easier or unnecessary?
Right.
It's one thing. And we talk about being 1% better every day.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I can count on my left hand how many books I read.
Yeah.
This year, I just made a small goal.
Right.
Read one book a month.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm 1% better than what I was last year. So the one thing is what I'm reading now. And I also brought each of you a copy.
Hey, look, man.
One thing.
We appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
it's a bestseller, #1 Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street Journal, man.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna tap into
Thank you,
that,
Raphael.
man. So, you know, since you actually brought us something, man, we actually brought you something as well.
Yeah, man. You know, we wanted to honor you on the show, brother.
Yes, sir.
You're actually one of the first ones to ever get this award on this show.
Appreciate it.
And you know, most definitely, brother.
Love, man.
Love, of course,
Love what
man.
y'all doing, man.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Sure, man. We
Most
appreciate you,
definitely.
man.
You know, we feel like that you're somebody that obviously is leading the way, man. And you know, you have a bright future ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
We're just thankful to have you on the platform.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, most definitely,
And
man.
he just give us the ability to be inspired by what he do and move
No,
forward
most
and
definitely.
what we're passionate about. You
Most
know?
definitely.
That's pretty much what this platform here that we have. We want to build a platform, a community where everyone can do what it is that they're passionate about.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of times in this society, we tend to hate on people for something that they good at when we're not even good at that thing.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, no, bro, we can literally do what it is that we like and we passionate about, and we move forward together as a collective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, we appreciate you, man. You know, and that's just a token
Appreciate
to show
you.
you our appreciation.
Appreciate it.
You're never gonna forget that because this level up is gonna continue.
Yes, sir. It's gonna continue,
It's one of my
brother.
offices.
It's
one
gonna
of my
go in your office and you're gonna see that level.
We're gonna see some scholars coming out of here, man. Most definitely. Yes, sir. Raphael, man, you've been in Atlanta for quite some time.
Yes.
I'm gonna make this fun a little bit. You know, I'm the guy that kind of just throws the crazy questions sometimes, man. Are you married?
October 7th, it'll be official.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you, I guess, run into your partner, and how has that been helpful in your journey? You know, as far as pursuing what you're pursuing and becoming successful.
I would say it was in college in Miami.
Okay.
Funny story. We were on South Beach, bumped into each other.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Wow, man.
That's what's up,
beautiful.
man. That's what's up, man. They say if you find the right woman, man, it helps you move forward in the positive direction. I have yet to find that one, but you know,
It's coming.
you know, I'm attracting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not actively seeking it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
What's an advice you would have for men in Atlanta or in any market, honestly? You know, is because the dating scene, I feel like who you date, of course, also kind of determines how you grow as a person, right?
Yeah.
So I guess those are the gems that I would kind of like want you to share as far as like, if you had any advice to give any young men or, you know, just people even our age, right? How to maneuver the dating scene or perhaps how to choose someone in order when they're looking for that.
I know for me, she has the same mindset as I do.
Yeah.
No matter what we accomplish or so-called set out to do, she's trying to match her to be even better.
Right.
I mean, when you're talking about being in school, going back to get her master's, to planning a wedding, to also picking up shifts to work at the same time in nursing, it's not easy.
Right.
But she did it because she likes things and she likes nice things and she likes to be able to buy her own nice things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I
she wants you to
appreciate
buy those things too.
Right.
She want to buy you things too.
That's true.
You know?
And I
We're gonna
appreciate
make sure she see this part.
Yeah, right. We had to.
right. And
We got you, Ashley.
Right.
but just the mindset and her integrity and also I've told her many times that she's inspirational to me.
Right.
Just knowing her background, where she comes from, she's Hispanic. I've never seen anybody work as hard as her. I literally have not.
Right.
And it's very inspiring.
Right. Find your hard working,
That's a beautiful thing.
you know, focused woman, man. Definitely helps.
My time coming, man.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
Just not right now.
Yeah, we
We gotta
seen
focus on leveling up.
we see what was happening to you at InvestFest. I mean, your time is here. You just gotta choose.
Man, listen, bro. Yeah,
Might be,
bro, they
might
had
be
they,
closer than
It
you
might be
think.
closer than you think.
they had me running, bro. They had me running. You know what I'm saying? I said, y'all can be some employees. Y'all want to?
That's like we might need to get some security, bro. Might need some security
Yeah, my
around
brother
here,
said we
bro.
need some
I don't know.
security, bro.
Some of them just
Yeah.
looked a little too crazy, man. Just following you everywhere. I said, "This
Kid
is a
looked at me
cult."
like, bro, what's up with you, bro? Like, what's going on? I'm like, bro, I don't know, bro.
It's crazy. No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know, and you said your wedding is coming up.
October 7th.
Are you excited, brother?
Very excited, man. Very excited.
Awesome,
Time
man.
is here.
That's a beautiful thing.
We've been living together some time now.
Right.
That force just gonna get stronger.
That's it. And I would say to you, man, you'll know. You'll know. And because your mindset, your age,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know how young you are.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
because of how you move.
Right.
And I would just say that's a true testament of your the background,
Right.
your upbringing. So like attracts like.
Yeah.
You'll know by the person that you attract.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
they have that mindset, you'll lock it in.
For sure, bro. I appreciate
Yeah,
that,
you
man.
will. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's what I tell them all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, you're like an old soul for your age, bro.
For real.
You know,
Yeah. 25, 26?
Yeah,
25.
25, bro. 25. I'll be 26 this year, man. You know, still got a lot of growing to do. You know, learning myself, knowing myself. Once I get to know myself even better, it's progressive.
Yep.
You know, but getting to know myself, it helps me understand a better trajectory of where I'm going.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and being able to come across you guys, you know, it's a testament of what I've been and what I've accomplished so far, man.
Yep.
So it's truly an honor to meet you guys, man. I met Mikhail 2-3 years ago.
Wow.
We've been leveling
about
up
3
ever
years,
since.
yeah.
It was
Like
a
attracts
little-
like.
It was a little rocky, you know what I'm saying, like the stock market, but we leveling up now.
That's it.
When we first met, yeah, it was a little rocky, and then we grew, man. You know, we was just not
Yeah.
focused. We was working though. You know, we was grinding. We met at a brokerage firm working in logistics,
Yeah.
and we was both brokering. And essentially, you know, we knew we had more to do. We had a lot more to accomplish. And
Right.
but you know, like-minded individuals connect, right?
That's
And
it.
we both sharpened each other. We got better.
Yeah.
We realized we could do a whole lot more.
Yeah.
And we started to kind of like start the platform, do different things, and kind of level up. And whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, you know.
That's it.
But you are the sum of the people you hang around with.
That's it.
And so it's
Yeah.
important to choose your environment, you know.
Yep.
And so yeah.
But man, I know this show is pretty much coming to an end, man. We don't have much time left.
Right.
Raphael, you know, I like to do this thing where you give our audience 3 things, 3 words in order to level up their life. What are some of the 3 things, 3 key words or 3 attributes you can give to our audience in order to level up their life, man, that, you know, that you feel like is necessary pretty much?
I would say hard work. The key common denominator that I found, especially from InvestFest, well, those guys, they work hard.
Right.
And you have to understand, and this the journey is what makes it so good, right?
Mhm.
You're gonna learn so much throughout that process, throughout the journey. So embrace the journey, right? Do the work
Right.
and just work hard.
Right.
You know, put your head down and you just see where it takes you.
See where it takes you.
Yep.
The
Right.
journey is definitely more important than the destination. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? If you're not going through things, you're not going through that process, you're not going to appreciate the destination.
That's it.
And whatever it is, that prize at the destination, if you lose, you're not going to appreciate it.
That's it.
You know,
And it's
for
funny
sure.
you say, because hard work, like you say, man, because in this day and age, we preach so much of like just work smart, right?
Yeah.
But you got to work smart and you still got to work hard, man. Listening to people like, you know, Robert A. Smith, and who told us their story of how they were able to come up, right? And he mentioned that over and over. He said, hey, you got to work hard. You know, you got to wake up early, be the first one to show up, be the last one to leave. You know, you got to, like, he was building businesses without even kind of just wanting something in return, right? He was breaking it down, looking at their systems, bringing much more return, solving problems.
That's it.
We got to have that it factor, man, to want to go above and beyond.
Right.
And we're able to do that. It just kind of in return will, you know what I'm saying, favor us, right? We'll be able to reap the benefits.
Right.
And so we take that character wherever we go, that mindset wherever we go.
Yeah.
Let me ask you gentlemen something. Because I feel like, you know, especially my generation, I'm 25. So it's like
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard for me to have a conversation with 25-year-olds because their intellect is not where mine is. Not to toot my own horn, but that's just the reality behind it. How do you feel like they define if they're working hard or not? You know what I'm saying? Not just in a monetary way, but because, you know what I'm saying, we tend to put the value on the money. How do someone define if they're working hard? Some people may not be working hard, but they feel like they're working hard, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And they haven't identified their one thing yet.
Yeah.
And
okay.
and in that book, it's going to break into the difference between working hard and being
Right.
productive. Being
Right.
busy, excuse me,
Right.
opposed to being productive. Because
Exactly.
you want to be productive.
Right.
Ants are busy,
Right.
Yeah.
right? They
Right.
all, they're not getting anywhere,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you just got to form your mindset around what is the one thing I can do to be productive today? How can I be 1% better
Right.
today
Right.
than I was yesterday?
Most
I'm
definitely.
definitely going to tap into that book, man, so I'm going to break it open.
Yeah.
I read a lot, so. You
And
know.
you're going to love it.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Needed a new book to read too, so
Yep, yep.
that fits
And I
right
think
in.
also, just to piggyback as well, Steve Harvey said it best. His generation, all they knew was work.
Right.
Our generation, we have the knowledge, we have the figures, the social media. I mean, we
Right.
have all of that, but we want it handed to us, I
Right.
think. And if we could just take everything we're learning, grab your mentor that's been there, right?
Mhm.
And the intellect that we have and all the the platforms that we
Right.
have. I mean, look at this. They didn't
Right.
have this back
No, we
then,
did.
right?
Exactly.
If you use all of those things and couple it with hard work, you're unstoppable.
Yeah, and this is what I be saying. It's like we have a lot of information, we have the knowledge, you know, but it's the execution.
Start off by saying thank you for coming out. We're gonna be putting this event on. It seems like a lot more, and really, Allison and I work together. I'm the real estate agent behind the property. She gets you approved, and once we have that approval, I know how to shop. It's all about the market, right? The market right now, obviously.
Information way faster than the last generation. You know what I'm saying? They say if you know better, you do better. But it's like it's the execution of this knowledge and what you have.
Yeah,
You know, for sure.
Exactly, man.
You got anything else, Mikhail?
Oh man, it's been such a productive conversation.
Yeah. I love
anything
that
else?
type of conversation.
Anything else? I mean, honestly, man, you give us a lot about your background, your story. It's been very inspirational, man. And again, we just want to thank you for showing up and showing out, as they say, right? And just being present, man. Of course, we look forward to seeing what you're going to be doing. You know, I'm sure you got a lot planned and a lot of places you're going to. So we look to support you in any kind of way we can. This won't be the first, or the last time.
It's not gonna be the last time you're with us,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
So we look forward to having you back on the show, most definitely, man.
And where can they find you, man? Let our audience know where they can find you, man.
Raphael the Realtor _ on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys know where to get your property, man.
That's it.
You in the Atlanta market? Do you work in different markets or just?
I work all of Metro Atlanta.
Okay.
And specifically in the city outside the perimeter.
Okay.
Cobb County, anywhere. And then
Okay.
even out of state, I know somebody.
You know some people.
Yeah.
Connect with my guy. Connect with our guy, man.
Absolutely.
Make sure y'all tap in.
And once again, we appreciate you guys for tapping in with us every other week. We're looking forward to going to once a week.
Yes.
You can find me, of course, at N.U.KING.
Find me at Mikhail_XTO on Instagram. You'll have all the tags under the video here with our YouTube video. And then, of course, make sure you guys follow the page. Share, like, do whatever it takes to push this content out. As you guys already know, we're looking to grow this platform. We have grown so far. We have about 500-600 subscribers. And
Coming off of InvestFest. Coming off InvestFest, for sure.
we're looking to reach 1,000 subscribers in the next 2 weeks. If you guys can, of course, share and put it out there for us, man. We appreciate it. But so far, we appreciate the support. Thank you for the love. And yeah, man.
Look forward to leveling up with you guys.
Yes, sir. Until next time.
Until next time.
Peace. Blessings.